So I think we can start. So maybe I'll take over the formal welcome or the introduction by Rian, who will guide us through this facilitated tea break by the early career scientists. So we are very happy that we have you here, and yeah, you can just start. Thanks.
All right, thank you for the welcoming introduction. So my name is, not still on loop, but so my name is Rian Sidras, and I am the chair for the Early Career Scientists Network. And today I'm going to introduce a little summary that we've put together to show you more about the work that we do as a network. So the Western Indian Ocean Early Career Scientists Network started back in 2017, at the same time when the Women in Marine Scientists Network was endorsed by the Western Indian Ocean Marine Sciences Association. So the difference between Women's Network and the WIO Early Career Scientists Network is that the Women's Network are it's for women, of course, and it's basically it's not age specific, whereas the Western Indian Ocean Early Career Scientists are more for newly graduated students up to the postdoc level. So we are affiliated to WIOGEN, and we have been endorsed by as a network under WIOGEN. More about WIOGEN can be found on the website, and you can read up on the different networks under WIOGEN. So the reason why we started back in 2017 is because a lot of our scientists or early career researchers were always scattered. We didn't know who's doing what in the different countries, and we wanted to know what is happening at the capacity development level in terms of looking at early career researchers. So then we came up with this idea to promote scientific research interest by fostering strong regional ties among early career researchers, and basically provide a platform for young scientists where they can collectively share their scientific interests. So basically we started in 2017 in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, and we basically did this at the 10th WIOGEN Symposium. When we started out, we were about 71 members from 9 countries in the WIO region. So thus far, we are about in existence for 4.5 years, and we are growing. So from a WIO early career scientist perspective, we developed our mission and vision in terms of what we would like to see as a network when we working with early career researchers. So the first idea is, of course, to bring everyone together and develop their scientific skills. And at the same time, what we want to do is our mission is to ensure that there is this strengthening the capacity of early career researchers so that we can form long-term partnerships with relevant stakeholders. So basically what then happens is that we then provide a platform for young scientists, not only once off, but we're looking at more in long-term relationships with early career researchers when they become later on senior scientists. More information about our early career scientist network can be found on the WIOGEN webpage, where we provide an overview about who we are, how to become a member, and some of the latest news that we do. Okay, so when we started out in 2017, we were only 9 countries, but this has now grown to 10 countries. And at the time, we didn't have Somalia or any representatives from Somalia. So Somalia is now the country in terms of number 10 that forms part of the WIO Early Career Scientists Network. In 2017, when we started, we were also just 71 members, but we are now over 300 members across the different countries. Of course, regional representation in terms of numbers is not the same, and we hope to address that in the future. Part of what we like to do is, as you see in the WIOGEN conference, is our direct involvement, either through sessions like this, like the coffee tea break, or our special sessions at symposiums. But also most of our scientists are directly involved in the planning phases right up to the execution of events. So even if it's just mean showing people where they must be seated, which hotel they must go, which bus they must use, and making sure they get your booklet when attending these physical conferences. It's often the early career researchers that likes to do this kind of work. Okay, so that's one of how we are often involved. What we also do is we look at human skills development. This is just an example of some of the human skills involvement that we were directly participated in, and some we assisted with the training of early career researchers through a zooplankton identification workshop. And this is just taxonomical training skills that we assist, that we try to bring to early career researchers in a region where we know there are some challenges in terms of taxonomic skills development. So this was hosted in 2019. And then in 2018, we also invited early career researchers from across the WIO region to participate in research cruises. The one was the SA Agulhas 2, and the other one was on the Dr. Fridtjof Nansen research cruise. And both of these vessels operated in 2018. In the SA Agulhas research vessel, we had about 32 early career researchers from across the region. What we often try to do is we always try to balance across the 10 member states. We will maybe take two from each country so that we have regional representation. And the same thing we've done in the EAF Nansen program in 2018. So the capacity always depends on what the research vessel can accommodate. So on the Nansen, we had about 6 to 8 early career researchers. And on the Agulhas on the Agulhas research vessel, there was about 32 early career researchers. Okay, so what our members often try to do at the country levels is to do outreach. And basically what we do in outreach is that we go around to universities or colleges or where there's training facilities where we know that most of our early career researchers would come from. So we then, we in a phase where we would like to develop more of these pullouts where we can see, like when you walk in the foyer, you can basically see there is a network for early career researchers in the region, but everything we want to address can be found on these sort of these banners. So basically what we then do is we encourage early career researchers from different countries to basically speak to us and tell us what are the challenges and how can we sort of address some of these challenges. And this is a continuous efforts of all the early career researchers. What I forgot to say at the beginning was in each country, we have coordinators, and the coordinator sort of brings the message to us, and then we see what is it that we can do at the country level within our network or within the WIO region. So we believe in capacity development beyond the coast. That's why we often try to bring all these researchers, if it's not on a big research vessel. This is the SA Gullis 2 of South Africa, which is a polar research vessel, but through UNESCO, they've actually allowed it to come into the tropics, which was nice for early career researchers because they get to see what a polar research vessel looks like in the tropical regions. So this was in 2018, and then also most of our early career researchers often are engaging directly with communities which livelihoods depends on ocean resources. And this is how we often encourage early career research to do beach cleanups, to participate in community events, and to see how they can assist and basically these in communities that depends on these ocean resources. So therefore, we often now try to encourage our members to get to know what the Sustainable Development Goals are from 14 right up to 1. So some of the achievements we have done so far is that we are now a home to the voices of Eastern African young scientists, and that includes the island states. We have over 2,000 followers across social media platforms. We've participated in the African Youth Summit this year and now today, and throughout this conference, you will see our presence across the different days and up till tomorrow during the WIOGEN conference. And this is basically where any event or any conference that's hosted in the region, we encourage our members to send their abstracts so that they can participate and later on become active scientists within these spaces. So we therefore are a platform for sharing opportunities in the WIO region through trainings and workshops, conferences and cruises. We often encourage members to have special sessions, like the coffee break today is one of the examples. And we work with organizations that carries out virtual sessions. And we're now assisting the UN Decade of Ocean Sciences to develop a brochure for Africa with these Ocean Decade challenges. And we've shared the challenges with our members, and we ask members to see whether they would like to participate in developing this booklet. We also contributed as a network to the UN Global Ocean Sciences Report of 2020, where we highlighted some of our activities that we do as a network in the region. So Africa Marine Science Week was one of the events that UNESCO actually invited us to join. So therefore, as the network, we believe in regional collaboration and as well as international. The reason why we believe in this is because we believe that through international and regional collaboration, we can establish some good scientific practice that can help us to better understand our region. And we can only do this through team building and team efforts. So therefore we operate as a group, and we try to have good representation across the region. What we often encourage members to do to practice their authorships or their writing is that we ask them to quarterly send us information about the activities that they do in the region, even if it's some of them are in Germany at the moment, where they have never experienced the cold weather, and so they would send us these pictures. And they are from Mauritius and Tanzania, and some of them we encourage to think about beyond your border. So we encourage research and then write to us or to the WIOMSA quarterly news brief and tell us basically what you experience. And we do participate in summits and other activities such as conferences. So if you want to know more about who we are, here is the links. We are on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and as well as on Twitter. And if you want to send us an email, this is our email address, and we often respond within a day. That's the etiquette we try to establish as a network, but more about us can be found on the WIOGEN webpage. Thank you very much. Oops.
Thanks so much. This was really interesting. And I think we still have a couple of more minutes to engage here. And I really invite our colleagues to ask some questions, give some comments. Do you have ideas for how to support early career researchers in the region? What are your experiences? Please, guys. Meenakshi, please.
Hi, Rian. Thank you for introducing the early career researcher group. I learned about it today. I'm wondering, I'm Indian and I work on issues related in the region, but I'm not sure as an outside national, am I allowed to be part of the group?
Yeah, so we have different, I think that the name often creates the sort of barrier, and people feel like they don't want to, but yeah, so we've got Rachel, who's not here because of the time zone. She's from the USA and she had the exact same question. And she wanted to do work in the region. And then we sent emails out to Mozambique, and then she was overwhelmed by all of the early career researchers' responses she was getting. So yes, you can be part of our network. If you do work in the region, we believe that you have all the right to participate in anything you would like to do in the region. So if you, I think Frank is in here, and I'm sure, he just posted his details in the chat. So you're welcome to send him an email, and we'll keep in touch.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks. This is so great to see how people are being matchmaked through this conference. We really have fun to see, despite the troubles of engaging online. It's really nice to see that you are meeting, and we hope you take it from here. Maybe there are other questions or comments. Do you want to show your cup of tea or have a story for us? Shannon, you were raising your hand.
So I think I can't actually raise my hand as one of the co-hosts. I'm not sure. Anyway, but you can hear me, so that's what counts. And I'm actually just stealing your question, Rebecca, because you asked how we can help or support early career researchers in online conferences. And I think this is more and more part of our life. And it's obviously quite intimidating to engage with someone in this kind of bilateral way when you're online. So what can we do to make it easier and more accessible to early career scientists, in your opinion?
Are you asking me, Shannon? Well, so I think what is necessary is that it's the idea where we start off with. So, for example, like the WIOGEN is an example of an international conference, and organizers such as yourself can come to us and say, look, don't you want to host this event? But then the challenge probably comes for early career researchers is, where do you start? And if people that are well equipped with understanding how to do more online early career or online conferences, I think is that sort of partnership that will allow us to have more, to become more accessible in terms of having more conferences online regularly, because we often sometimes can't attend these physical conferences because of funding, but I think through online conferences we can definitely do more in this space.
That's good to hear, and also to remember maybe for the coming years, despite maybe if travel is possible, to keep on having virtual formats to be more inclusive and yeah, give this chance to people who are underfunded maybe to also take part in such meetings. We also have a raised hands by Lena. Lena, what's your question or comment or idea?
Thanks, Rebecca. Sorry, you can't see me well right now. It's really sunny here in the background, but yeah, thanks so much for your talk, Rian. I just wanted to use this opportunity to network between networks, kind of, and to advertise for a survey. I'm part of the ICMARO, which is the International Conference for Young Marine Researchers, which is hosted once yearly in Germany. And I've already connected to your network on social media, Twitter, and sharing stuff that might be interesting for your network as well sometimes. And yeah, I just wanted to use this opportunity to advertise a survey that we are currently running with some early career researchers from that network, which is looking at obstacles to knowledge co-production for early career marine researchers. And yeah, maybe I can just put the link to the survey in the chat, because a lot of people here, a lot of young marine or ocean researchers are doing knowledge production and approaches. And yeah, I thought it would be a good opportunity. Thank you.
Thanks, Lena. And I think I've seen that online. There's also a workshop on the 3rd of November. So is there also the possibility to join that?
Ah, perfect that you say that. Yeah, actually, that's true. So next week, I'm hosting a workshop presenting some initial results of the survey, but also discussing how we can overcome obstacles to knowledge co-production. And I will also put a link to that in the chat, and you can register and you will receive a link. Thank you.
Awesome, thanks. It'd be nice to see you guys working together. So there's still any other question, comments, or Rian, do you want to react? What's been said?
Yeah, so we do often also do surveys, and we often the question that comes back to us is what happens to the data that often gets collected, because sometimes the young scientists feel that they are not part of such once the data is out there, what happens to that data? And I think that's probably a conversation that Lena and I can have if she would like to answer that now, or if it's entirely up to her.
Sorry, the question was what happens with the data that we're collecting through the survey. Yeah, so one thing is that we want to present that next week in the workshop, and then actually discuss the findings with senior researchers to look at how can we overcome these obstacles, and whether there are institutional obstacles that me as an early career researcher, I can't really influence much, but that needs a more top-down approach. But also there might be some engagement obstacles. So when I'm going to a field, to a case study, and yeah, I'm lacking a network there. So what could be approaches for me to overcome these obstacles at a very early stage in my career? So yeah, I hope that answers your question. Of course, we also plan to then publish that, but really reaching out to early career researchers will be done through the workshop next week.
Thanks so much. And thanks again for this interesting talk, Rian, and the whole network for being so active in this conference. It's been a pleasure to work with you.
Thank you.
Thanks so much. So we'll go back to plenary now, and we'll see you there. Group photo. True. If any, let's switch all on our cameras and try a last very short group photo. Give it another couple of seconds. Yes. So nice to see some faces. Okay, so I'll say, please smile now. Okay. Awesome. Thanks so much, guys. We'll see it on our social media accounts. And see you in plenary.